How are you, everybody? Today we are going to be painting, yes, another figure from Batman Gotham City Chronicles. And this is one that I really looked forward to because it's one of my favorite villains for Batman, believe it or not. And that's Killer Croc. Very simple job, but I really wanted to bring this dark grittiness to him. And I think I was able to do that, but there's only one way to find out. Let's go down to the table. All right, Killer Croc. This is always a fun one to do, that's for sure. Real simple job here. We're going to be using, army painter, war paints. We're going to use Monster Brown. I think that really works well on this jacket of his. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple coats of this on, and it's going to really help the green that we're going to put on. Now, we want to be careful here, but we're not too worried because, well, to be honest with you, we got to go over them anyways. So what we want to do is really get a couple of coats of this Monster Brown on. And I got it watered down, so what's going to happen is it definitely is going to need a couple coats. So what we want to make sure that we do is we got a nice thin paint here and that we are going over nice and easy. Now you're seeing some brush strokes here, but that's going to happen on the first coat. We're not worried about that. What we really want to take care of is the next coat that we're going to put on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to get another coat on here, and you're going to see a big difference in how this coat all is going to come together, and we're not going to have that those black streaks underneath. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to work on that skin, so we definitely want to get to that. So let me finish this up. We'll be back, and then I'll show you what colors we're going to use to put the skin on. All right, so now that we got the coat kind of squared away, what we're going to do is we are going to start painting his skin, and we're going to layer his skin quite a bit. Now I'm going to use a troll hide from, yes, something even different, Bones Master Paint series, the high density pigment. I really want this green, this layer of green to be very dark. I really want to make sure that I get it done in there well, and I want to make sure that I get it really on him really well. Okay, because this first coat is going to be very important. Now I'm going to have to put numerous coats on it because this is watered down very well, and it's that way we're not going to lose any of the detail. I already started painting a little bit, but and again, right in the hands here, we don't want to get any on the coat. We just want to take our time. Top of his head, we want to make sure that we're just covering everything, and that's what's important, is just getting good coverage and taking our time. Remember, this is the first coat because we're going to shade outwards. Okay, like we always do, we get our base coats on, and then we work our way out from our base coats, and that's the key right there. And I'm just going to keep painting here and using this wonderful paint. I tell you, these bone paints are just absolutely fantastic, along with a lot of the army builder. Matter of fact, you know, these companies make some really great paints. Far cry from my tester's kit when I was a kid, huh? You gotta admit, it's a long way coming. All right, so I'm gonna keep painting over this until I get the shade that I want, of course, because we want to make sure that we cover up the black. And I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with old Killer Croc next. Okay, the other thing that I did is I added a little pink horror in there. You can see the way this green really works in here, so we're going to have a really good base to work with. Next thing I want to do, and I really want to kind of start bringing that, exactly what you were thinking, I know. I want to come over with a wash, and I really want to start bringing out some of the recesses on these jackets and really bring some depth to this character. Really just easy to do. And this is one of those colors, an Agrath Earthshade that I'm using, that really is going to sit in here nicely. You want to be careful. You don't want it to pool up too much, but you really want to get it in there and make sure that it gets in the recesses. If it pulls up, it's just going to get way too dark, and that's not what we're looking for. The other thing that we can do with this is a nice thing is just go over his skin. Yes, exactly. And what that is going to do, we could go over with a camo shade, an Athonian camo shade. I would try to use if you didn't want to use that, but I think the brown and the green works together because of the contrast of what it does. It's actually it's giving us that we're always talking about looking for different points of shade so everything kind of looks three-dimensional. So getting in here with this, it really works as well as if we went over with a green wash. And just getting in there, and you can see it just really gets in the recesses. That's a big thing, because the next step is to, of course, lighten everything up, and that's exactly what we're going to want to do. So getting this nice brown shade in here isn't really going to make that much of a difference, and it's going to save you on shades too. You might as well just do everything with what you have here. Make sure it doesn't pool. As you can see, I was getting a little pooling, but just very easily move it around with your brush and just work it. So I'm going to finish taking care of this and getting this right where we want it so it looks perfect, and then we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to start building outwards. So I'm going to finish up our old boy here, and we'll be on our way. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to take it's called a striking green, and what I want to do is all I want to do is just go over the green areas and really start to make him pop a little bit. I already started doing a little bit of work on it right here, but all I'm doing here is I'm kind of just very easily going over the higher points of his muscle structure. Okay, and I'm making sure I don't have a lot of paint on here, because all I want to do is I really see how his neck starts to come out a bit, and then he's got some higher points around the face, and we really just want those to sit up a little bit, and you can see his chest start to come out a little bit into his arms and his hands, and you can see the joints here. See how it just lays right over by just taking the brush and just tickling it almost, and it really brings out the uniqueness and the detail of this character, which is a fascinating character anyways. I mean, all Batman's villains are pretty fascinating if you ask me. But all I want to do is just really, I don't want to hit that tongue. I just want to really bring that skin together. I kind of want to have it where it's really poking out, just like a real reptile would. And I'm going to go over his legs and bring out some of the detail there. So I'm going to finish this up, and I'm going to show you how it looks when we are done here. Okay, as you can see, we really got the detail that we wanted to get. You can really go a little farther if you wanted to. You could take a little bit of yellow and just kind of hit just a little bit of the areas to give a little bit more of a reptilian type of look. Sometimes that's very effective, especially in the lines here and things like that. But I'm kind of happy with what we did. Next, I took some Ushabi bone and just took care of his claws and his teeth here. And I like the tongue the way it is, and I like the way the jacket is. A little beat up more than usual. Usually I would try to bring that out a little bit more, but I think it just fits Killer Croc the way he is. And I'm pretty happy with the way he came out, and he has that comic book feel to him, and that's exactly what we want with the red eye. And we could probably brighten up the tongue a little bit, but we're good to go. But we're going to send this up top and basically get on out of here. Killer Croc in the books. It's time to move on to our next figure in the Batman. Well, there you have it. The Killer Croc. Done. Finished. We move on. Exactly. We're going to be moving on to our next bunch of figures. We're going to start concentrating more on the gangs, trying to get those really picked off. I want to finish up the villains and stuff like that, and some things that, you know, you just don't need to see that are just, you know, some of the gangs are kind of lame to have a painting video over, but I think some of the other villains are going to be really fun, and I may team those up so we're just not killing you with Batman Gotham City Chronicle videos all the time. I've got about 1,000 other things that I want to show you that we're going to be painting. So stay tuned. We're going to keep moving along here, and until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.